And welcome to the show. Lesley LeShea joins me here today on Live 365 iHeartRadio Sports Hip Hop with DJ Mad Max. How's it going?
Going great, going great.
Mean that
How are you?
much? That's one of your newest singles out that you're promoting.
Yes, that is one of them. I've actually been on tour for the last few months with the Shade 45 and Core DJs, so it's been pretty exciting.
How's that experience been and just getting linked up with all the DJs? And who's someone that's real supportive of you up there?
Yeah, like I've been so many different places I have never been and actually performed as an artist, like Denver, Kansas, Atlanta, and it's just been the connections being made during this tour is just amazing. So
I want to get into your entire backstory. Tell me about where you grew up.
So I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. It's a small town. Born and raised there. All my music upbringing has been from there. So that's where I've started off at, and that's where I'm from. So that's where I got my start as a singer.
Now, getting into the industry, how hard was it being from a small location? Because I'm from Connecticut, so I had to go to New York to get my footing. So, how was it coming from a small area and trying to get into the big music scene?
It's definitely challenging because you have your city behind you, but it's so small. It's like, where can I go from here? It's like really small. So I had to go to the Atlanta area or Houston area to really try to get my name out there instead of just staying in my hometown. But it was pretty tough.
Yeah. Now, when going to Atlanta and Houston, which one offered you the best opportunities right out the gate? Was it Atlanta? Because I don't know, Atlanta has a huge music scene, and as soon as you go there, I've heard great stories about artists going right there for their start of their careers.
Yes, definitely Atlanta. I worked with Bryan-Michael Cox. I was able to do some music with him there. So I've really been able to connect with some major people in Atlanta. So that was definitely one of the doors that opened up for me. It started in Atlanta.
When did your journey begin as a vocalist? How old were you when you started?
I think about 3 or 4 in church.
Wow. Yes,
I
that's
was like 3 years old, 4 years old. So I've been singing for a very, very long time.
starting in the choir. Growing up, what were the top R&B albums that you listened to that inspired your career?
So who inspired me was SWV was one. I loved a lot of those R&B groups like Jagged Edge, New Edition. A lot of those 90s artists is like what I really, really connect with. Those are like the artists I have followed for years. So most of my sound, it can be kind of 90ish R&B with, some new age to it as well. But 90s is like my heart.
90s is considered the golden age for R&B.
Exactly.
Have you had the opportunity to meet anyone from SWV or any of the artists that you mentioned?
Not at all, but I would so love to. And I forgot to mention Escape. Escape was one of them too. But not I have not met anyone,
I'm sure.
unfortunately.
I'm sure that'll happen soon. Have you had any experience early on in your career? Because you mentioned a few groups, and it's rare to see groups nowadays. Because back in the day, that's all you had to come up and actually be in a group to be taken seriously. Did you have any group experience, or have you always been solo?
I have my sister, me and her, we would sing together. We did start a small group some years ago, but it was in the gospel era. I was when I was in church. So, but I have started off in groups and I've always felt like I had the most passion when it came to music. Like I was willing to put everything aside to rehearse, to go do stuff. And I could tell other people's passion wasn't that strong as mine. So that's when I was like, maybe I should try to do this on my own because I know the route I'm trying to take and what goals I have. And it's hard to do that with other people. And if they're not on the same page as you, it's tough. So that's how I really decided to just go ahead and branch out on my own.
Mhm. And making it into the industry and making these connections, who would you say was that helping hand or someone that believed in you right away in the industry that really got you in this place you're in today?
Honestly, it was one of my family members. He was like, I really support you. I really believe in you. And he opened a door for me to work with Brian Cox. And that was like one of the highlights of my career. Like Brian Cox have worked with Mariah Carey, Jagged Edge, just
Big time
all
acts, yeah.
and to be in the studio and record with him and have him producing with me, it was just like I felt like I was just in a dream. So to have that family member support me and push me and be behind me and open those type of doors for me, I'm so thankful. and grateful to have that moment and to experience that in my life.
Have you had the opportunity to have a conversation with someone in these studio sessions, or even some artists that may have been in on the studio sessions with Bryan-Michael Cox, about the struggles that you face coming from a small area and making it big? And was there any similarities that you were able to come across anywhere in the same artists of the industry?
Yes, a lot of people think this comes overnight, and
Yeah, no.
they say it takes years. It could just that one moment. It could be you could be doing this for 5 years, 10 years, and all of a sudden you get your big break. Just to never give up. We do get frustrated in this industry, but the drive and the passion should outweigh that frustration. And then it could be right when you're ready to give up, the door open. So it's like just push and keep pushing, even when it looks like nothing is happening, something is happening. So everybody would always tell me to keep going. They see the talent, they see the gift, and believing in myself and having that drive just keeps me going.
In your mind, when you think about how long it's taken you to make it, what would you say is the expectancy rate you think that it should be in order for people who are gifted to make it in this industry? Because I don't believe in being 40 years old, 50 years old. I think if you have it, you have it, and you should be in right away.
Yeah, and I honestly, it seems nowadays it's not taking that long with social media. Social media right now is giving everybody that chance to be seen.
Yeah.
So now I don't believe it's going to take 10 years, but putting yourself out there all the time, every day, all day with social media, it may not take that long. It may not. You could go viral tomorrow. Takes honestly, that social media is the new age, everything. So if you're active on there, you just never know.
Mhm. Being influenced by the 90s, how do you feel about the age of social media and how music has changed during the times? Because because you came up on that 90s music, so now the R&B sound has completely changed, and there's a lot of auto tune, and people are doing whatever the trend is. How do you feel about how it's changed since you grew up?
I'm having to change with it, to be honest. I'm still staying true to myself with 90s music, but I'm also putting some of the twists that they have now on it to give it more of a today's age. I know I can't just stay stuck in the because we're past it, we're in the 2000s. So at this point it's just really moving with the times and kind of keeping your sound and keeping yourself, being true to an artist that you are with the new age sound. It's weird, but it's like you have to evolve and grow with this. You have to change and you have to grow. So it's been difficult sometimes trying to find that sound for yourself in this time of in this day and time. So once you get with that right producer and y'all figure out what works for you, you know, it'll work.
What are some elements that you're adding to your music you feel as though works well today? What is the new elements of R&B?
Definitely, like you say, some of this auto tune stuff. But with singing, you don't want to do too much of that because you want people to hear your voice. But even the music and the type of beats you use, a lot of mine aren't piano-ish. You know how like R&B is like really piano and it's more that most of my tracks aren't like that. It's more, I want it to be played in the clubs. I want it to be played on radio. I want that commercial sound. So sometimes you have to switch up the music to match what's going on today and not be so stuck into that 90s sound.
Mhm. And you're working right along here. Who are some people you're looking to collaborate with here in the near future?
One of my faves. Everybody know Chris Brown is like my favorite. I don't know. One day, Lord, the door may open, but he is just a great artist, just so versatile. And I would love to do something with Chris Brown. Chris Brown is like one of my favorite artists, and I would love to work with him one day.
Top producers that you're looking to work with besides Bryan-Michael Cox, Teddy Riley? You have some in mind similar to Teddy Riley?
Yes, yes. And I actually said I wouldn't mind working with T Pain. He has an
Mm.
ear that I like. I like a lot of what he does and what he come up with. I do like T Pain. Um,
Babyface?
yes, yes, definitely. But I know a lot of them, I don't know what they're doing now. It's like, Babyface, what you doing? But yeah, I would definitely, I mean, that are some of the greats. And I feel like some of the things they could tell me or help me will help me even to this day. So even being in a room with somebody like that would be just amazing. So
When I listen to your music, of course, it takes me back to the 90s. You express a lot of pain in it, and it's raw vocals and soul. What would you say is the Lesley LeShea message when we're listening to you?
a lot of times I want to speak to women because we go through a lot of relationships and in life, and a lot of my fan base are women and they can actually connect to my music. I'm telling a story. My first single I ever put out was about a failed relationship. Who hasn't had a failed relationship that we had to get through? So basically speaking to women and speaking healing too as well through my music, or how we can get through this. We can speak about the pain, but how do I get through the pain? So
Mm.
yeah, it's I try to be encouraging as well when it comes to my music. So yes.
Are you working on a new album?
I am. I have so much music. Like this is just the start. I'm planning on dropping something soon. I'm so excited about this album. I feel like it's long overdue. Definitely ready for the world to hear it and to hear me as an artist and connect with me as an artist.
You're currently independent, right now?
Correct.
Mhm. Have you had any talks, or is there anything in the near future potentially signing a deal or distribution deal at least?
Definitely will want that in the future. We're weighing out options at this moment, trying to put my music in the right hands, definitely. But that is definitely an option for us, me and my team. So that's the goal.
Upcoming performances that you have? Because I know you said that you've been on tour with the Sirius
Yes,
XM Shade DJs.
yes, that has been very time consuming and fun, exciting at the same time. But I definitely have another performance coming up in Dallas on next week. And from there, we're putting some more tour dates together outside of the Shade 45. So I'll definitely, if everybody connect with me on my social media, you can keep up with where I'll be and come see me perform. So just connect with me on social media and you'll be able to catch up with everything I have going on.
You got the album on the way. You already have people that you want to collaborate with in the near future. You made connections already. What do you think is the next major step for you in order to take your music and your career to the next level, in which everyone knows that Lesley LeShea is here in the game and you have arrived?
Definitely getting signed, like getting that good deal, that good distribution deal, getting with a label that is gonna back you and believe in you. That is the ultimate goal. Just to have that backing. Once you have that backing, it's like sky's the limit.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you have that back from the major, it's off to the races here.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. Lesley LeShea, is there anything else that you want to let the audience know, your fans know, the listeners know that we didn't cover here today?
Yes, just whatever your dreams are, don't give up. Keep pushing. Don't worry about what people say. Just believe in yourself and strive for what you want and don't give up.
You're right. Well said. I'll say that right now. That was well said. And keep going out there. I checked out your music. Like I said, you're going to be going far in this industry. We need more R&B artists like you that are passionate, especially about the '90s, and keep it real with the vocals and are actual singers out here. Congrats on everything that you've achieved so far. Shout out to Al Nice for connecting us too.
Yes, yes. Shout out to El Nice for this. I'm so happy to have him helping me at this point in my career, and I appreciate him so much for everything.
Yeah, he's someone that really helps out the independents out here, and he does a lot of work with major artists. So the fact that he's able to give attention and help to the artists up and coming, I
That's
salute him for that. Shout out to him. Lesley LeShea, I want to thank you again for coming on the show here. Anytime you need any promo, just let me know. I'm looking forward to the upcoming work. Do you have an upcoming single actually before we close out? Upcoming single right before the summer really kicks off?
for the well, actually two,
You
but
have two.
before I have a collaboration that I did with someone that will be dropping this month. In about June, I'll be doing my summer banger. I'm just excited about this one. It's called Love Me Right. So it's giving an island vibe, and I can't wait for people to hear that sound from me. So be looking out in June for my summer hit. It'll be coming out.
I'll be looking forward to it. I'll make sure to get it in the rotation, promote it, keep doing your thing. Lesley LeShea, thank you again for coming on the show. Let them know where they can follow you on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all your social
Yeah.
platforms.
So y'all can find me on Instagram. It's underscore more MORE underscore LESSS. And on I'm sorry, TikTok and Snap, that's all Lesley LeShea, LESLEY, LESHEA. Y'all can find me, connect with me. If I'm in your city, pull up, come connect with me in those areas. I'd be excited to meet you. But y'all make sure y'all go follow me.
Yeah, make sure you go check her out, follow her, support her music. It's available on all platforms. And yeah, Lesley LeShea, thank you again for coming on the show. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your night, all right?
Thank you. You too.